Alright, what you see here is an Aloha breeze ceiling fan that I got from my grandmother's house. This fan was installed in her kitchen for quite a while. It's installed back in '03, and just this past summer of 2019, me and my dad replaced it with a Hampton Bay Hugger, the 5-bladed brushed nickel model in 52 inches. And yeah, it's a fan that my dad's been wanting to take out of the kitchen for a while. He's always felt that it was a very cheap fan, which it is. But what really irked him about it was that the blades droop down a lot, and the clearance on it being like right over the walkway of the kitchen made it tricky for people to like get by, like, especially people of his height, since the ceilings in my grandmother's house are very low. But yeah, this fan's been there since 2003. The fan itself is it's actually from December 2001, but there's another UL listing on it that says March 2002. But obviously, I'm going with the earlier UL listing that's on it. Now, I remember this specific fan being in an Aloha Breeze box when I saw it before it was installed, so that's how I know this one's specifically. So it's an Aloha Breeze one and not a Mainstays labeled one, but basically the same thing. But yeah, this fan is very sentimental to me. It's not a good fan at all. Um, Build on it's very, very flimsy. I mean, it's a Walmart fan, so it's not gonna be a good fan, obviously. But it's very sentimental to me, and it's definitely in pretty good shape for the amount of years it's been in my grandmother's kitchen. And with it being in the kitchen, especially, and it's a white fan, I'm surprised it's actually not as yellow as it could be. But yeah, it's a fan I've always would see at my grandmother's house as a kid, so it is very sentimental to me. And the performance on it's nothing impressive at all. It has a very slow high speed to it, but I'm thinking it could also be that the capacitor is going out on it, and also this fan was run on a light dimmer throughout all those years being installed in the kitchen. So 16 years of it being used on a light dimmer definitely must have done some damage to it, to the capacitor at least. So yeah, this fan never really did get used all that much compared to the Bahama that's in my grandmother's kitchen still to this day. Not the kitchen, in the living room. But this fan she would mostly use on a low speed, if anything. She mostly used it for the light, though she would use it more in the summertime. I'm like, I don't remember seeing it on high speed all that much. There was a time though that she would leave both this and the Bahama on 24/7 for like a few months, but then she stopped doing that. I guess because electric bill went up higher. I guess, or I don't know. She just stopped doing it. Well, it's probably good for this fan's case because with it being on the white, they definitely want to wear it out even more. So, but yeah. But yeah, it's she had it with the bleached oak blades showing, so that's why I'm showing it with the white blades afterwards. I figured I'd show it with the bleached oak blades first since that's how she had it installed, and show it with the white blades afterwards. Usually I do it the other way around, but I figured for this fan I'd do it the other way around instead. But yeah, I never really seen. There's only like 2 or 3 instances where I've seen this fan installed in public with the white blades. One was at a timeshare that my dad and I went to once back in 2008. He actually rented like it was like a basement area for like a single room, like smaller. The basement area would basically be like it was like a bedroom slash living room area, like a hotel would be. And then there was like a bathroom and a small kitchen off to the side, and downstairs in the area they had one of these installed. And the upstairs area, which is like the main area for like a bigger family, there was like a living room with no fans installed in at the time. Oops, sorry about that. The I had to turn on the space on my phone, so I just made clear some space. But back to this fan. At that timeshare, there was a another Walmart fan in the bedroom upstairs. The brushed nickel 5-bladed thingy that had linear vents, kind of like the Hunter ones would, like the low profiles, but it was like doubled, and it had maple blades of some sort and 4 whites. I definitely would like to find one of those just because that's a childhood fan for me as well. Um, I know there's a video of one on YouTube where there was like it's a very old video from like 10 years ago or something, where which I'm pretty sure it's still up to this day, where it was like, oh, crappy Walmart quality fan, like, and one of the blades that's broken, and the person in that video was just saying how cheap it is. I think it was at like their relative's house, like their aunt's or grandmother's house. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it was that model there. But yeah, the one at the time show though definitely seemed to have went a little bit faster than this one from what I can remember. But I know these were never fast fans, but I kind of remember this one going a little bit faster than when I was younger, or it could just be my memory being foggy. But yeah, it replaced one of those like older lights that you'd see in restaurants or kitchens. It had like a big round bowl in the center, and then the shade of it would be like a stained glass thing. Although this one was like a wickered one. My grandmother actually still has it. She never threw it out. She just has it down in the basement. But yeah. But yeah, for the white side of blades being faced upward all these years and never being cleaned at all, I'm honestly surprised how well they actually cleaned up. Not yellowed at all. So I'm definitely surprised by that. But yeah, the blade arms are, the blades definitely seem to have warped downwards over the years, and they don't seem to be hanging down as much, with the white side facing down this time around. But I mean, that's not surprising. I mean, my grandmother never used this in the wintertime. Well, she never really used them that much in the wintertime back then, until I taught her about the reverse settings on them. Especially with the mainstays hugger she'd have in her bedroom. Yeah, let me go ahead and show the light. I do actually need to clean out the pull chains a little bit more. It actually turns out that's just a little bit of grime or dirt on it. It's not they're worn out. But I'd rather just get the fan tested. Plus, it's not even that noticeable anyways. So yeah, let me go ahead and show off the lighting around me. So yeah, it lights up the space well. I mean, it's 3 whites, so it's not a surprise there. I already know how well this fan lights up the space, because I've seen it from so many times as a kid, so I already know how well it does lighting-wise, so I figured for testing purposes, maybe just do it again. And also, since there's 3 LEDs in there now. But I actually don't. I remember my dad we had put LEDs in it before we took it down anyways. Alright, now for the low speed. Something I'm noticing though is since we've taken it down and I'm testing it here is that the fan itself, I'm just fixing the chain for this light there. Okay, it just came undone by mistake, so it's not in the way. But it would make a very loud grounding. Well, it would make a grounding noise if you use it with the light off on the dimmer, but with the light on, it would hum a little bit. But something I noticed interestingly with my KDK that was installed in my bedroom in the United States here years ago, it was on light dimmer too, and it made the same type of humming noise this one did. Where when this one had the light off though, it would make a completely different noise. Now I originally thought it was just that the grinding noise was from this fan on the dimmer, which it was, but I just thought that the buzzing sound this fan produced was actually from the fan itself due to it being such a flimsy fan. Now, me testing it down here, I don't hear that sound at all, so I find that be quite interesting. And it's definitely interesting that this fan, being a cheap fan from Walmart, is actually pretty quiet, too. I am feeling a decent breeze from it on the low speed from over here. The low speed on it really isn't bad, in all honesty. I mean, it's an average low speed you see on a 52-inch fan. Something I do like about this model is that it has like a contemporary look to a basic looking 4-bladed fan with 3 lights, which is something you don't really see. I mean, it's also one of the last 4-bladed fans you'd see on the market back then, before 4-bladed fans really started to be phased out completely, unless it was like a Whittleton type fan. You know, honestly, those were like the only fans that were being sold for a while until more recently, 4-blade fans started to come back. So that's one thing I liked about this fan. I remember the Walmart near me actually after my grandma installed hers there in her kitchen. The display at the local Walmart near me had swapped out some of the fans and put up some newer models or different models, and they actually sold one of these. It was more in like the center of the aisle. I don't know if that brush nickeled one I was just mentioning. And so it's light. Something I found interesting was that it was the year afterwards they actually took down. It was like 2004, 2005, where they actually took down all the display models and um, just kept them, just kept it with how it is nowadays. But it's interesting that I don't remember too many of the display models there. About I was a little kid, so I know there's the mainstays Hugger Littleton thingy, the Harbor Beach Mungo type thingy, which I have one of those, the 42-inch John Rodder 3 white thingy that I have with 4 blades, and the brush nickel one, and the little 6-bladed thingies too. But that's really all I can remember Walmart having back then. Oh no, and the Hampton Bay like Carriage House type knockoff as well. That might be all of them. I'm not 100% sure. I know Walmart never really had a big selection, but I know back then they had a lot, like several models, and they were like in several different finishes. So they definitely did have more of a selection back then compared to nowadays. But yeah. But yeah, I'll bring it up close. Usually, it is making a very very tiny hum. Actually, that actually might be. And I see Encon in the background. Oh yeah, no, the spin's pretty quiet actually. Surprisingly, especially due to the fact that it's a Walmart fan. But it's not a fan I'd recommend at all. If this specific fan wasn't like a sentimental fan to me, I wouldn't even care for it. But even if my grandmother never had one of these, I would still want to get one because it's a fan I remember seeing at Walmart as a kid that I liked the look of. So if I didn't get this one, I would, and it wasn't a childhood fan for me, or if it wasn't like a fan that wasn't sentimental to me, like due to it being in my grandmother's house, I would definitely want to get one either way, but it would have to be very cheap or even free. But it is one of the few Walmart models that I actually do like. Well, I never really was a bad performer in Grandmother's Kitchen. What she has now definitely is a better performer. But she never really felt that it was a bad performer. The one thing is that when it was installed there, it definitely wobbled a bit. But that's because the way it's installed there, it's on a older electrical box. It's not like on the newer ones, so it caused it to wobble more. So it was like one of those boxes that you had to use like a washer, I think, to mount it. So that, of course, made the fan wobble a little bit more, I think. I don't even remember. I know I helped my dad install the Interbay Hugger, but I already forgot what type it was on. I think it was just the way it was mounted that made it wobble a lot, too, where it didn't seem like it was secure. But, yeah, it's definitely a fan I'm not parting with at all or disposing of. I know there's probably going to be a few people in the comments say that. If they do, feel free to. But if it's something really stupid, I'm just going to delete it. Because I already explained why I have it. It's a childhood fan that I got. There's been many childhood fans, cheap or good quality, that I've wanted to get. But I had been unable to either acquire them or save them from being destroyed or something, or like trashed. Or someone else got them or something like that. and at this point, I'm just trying to get if I had the opportunity to get a fan from my childhood, the exact fan from my childhood, I'm just gonna take the opportunity to get it because there's many of them that I wanted to get, but I wasn't around to get them, and since I was literally there when my dad was planting it, I took it so it wouldn't be thrown out, or if anything, like donated to like a habitat or something like that. All right, let's go ahead and show it on the high speed, which is more like a little bit faster than the medium speed, in all honesty. So again, it could be. I don't know. I feel like this is the high speed it would have, but there's not really too many videos of these on YouTube, like on all three speeds, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I do know a collector in the fan groups got one of these new in the box. No, I haven't. No, it's been a while since I've seen his video of it running on these speeds, so. I mean, it's not a horrible high speed. It's more like, basically, the high speed on this is like the high speed you see on quite a bit of newer fans nowadays, where the high speeds are like more of like a medium speed due to people not liking the whooshing sound, or like the wind sound that ceiling fans can create on the high speed. It's more like one of those high speeds, so it's not extremely slow, but it's not a good high speed. Basically, like there's like a lot of Hunter fans that have a slow high speed that are slower than this. At least this one's not as slow as those ones. But again, that could also be the delay dimmer that affected the motor or the well, it wouldn't be the motor; it would be the capacitor on it, if anything. But it does have a small motor too, so there's that. But actually, speaking of which, there was the other two places I forgot to mention. I've seen these at is there was a Walmart in Florida when I went to visit my grandfather down there back in 2011 that had one of these over the photo area on a short down rod with no light kit. And on the old street that I lived at in the city I live in, there's one of the houses or apartment units that's like right after the church that I filmed at that had the three Neutron Pro Line 3s at, that has one of these in the up there with the very, very bent warped blades, and they would always run it on low speed. It's still there to this day, but I discovered it like back in 2014, 2013. That was the first time I noticed it for the windows, so yeah. So let's go ahead and show it up close to the air movement. Yeah, the high speed's really nothing impressive. It moves air. I'll admit that it's a good amount of air. Not really, but if the fan actually went a little bit faster, it actually wouldn't be that bad of a performer. And again, this fan is from Walmart. It was literally a $20 fan back when this was being sold. So there's that. But also, like what Jordan Yu had said in his video of the Little Son, these type of fans exist for a reason, for people who can't afford a higher quality fan and they just need something to move some air at all. So obviously they're not going to be a great quality fan or something that will move a lot of air, but at least they'll serve a purpose of moving some air around, and that's what this fan literally does. So obviously they're going to have to, the company's going to cut corners just so they can sell something cheaper. So for people who can't afford like even a $50 fan, for example, can at least afford something. So at least, I mean, this fan is a 52-inch one, and at least it's moves decent enough air for the job. It wouldn't be something I'd use like in a bedroom. Well, I wouldn't if it was up to me. But if I had to sleep, well, I did sleep with one at night when I was a kid, so it wasn't too bad. But plus the room was nice and cool anyways. But It's not bad enough that I wouldn't sleep with one, but obviously I would prefer something else. And for me, the bedroom's the best way to test if something's powerful enough and such. But again, it's just because it has a super high speed. I mean, it moves enough air for me to be comfortable enough, surprisingly. But obviously, there are better options out there. And I would choose a better option, obviously, but I definitely would say this would be a decent fan for replacement stock, if anything, if you were to find one. But in terms of performance, if you want something to actually move some good air, definitely I want to get this. But if you just need something to move some air just to do the job, for $20, this definitely wasn't a bad option. But I do wish it went a little bit faster, in all honesty. But it's an Aloha breeze, so or it's a Walmart fan, so can't give it too much expectations. But something I am surprised by is that this fan is actually very quiet for being a very flimsy fan. So it does have some redeeming qualities to it, and I like the look of it, so there's that too. All right, now to show it on reverse. But yeah, honestly, I feel like if this fan went a little bit faster, it actually wouldn't be a bad performing fan. But for $20, it actually does a lot better than. I mean, back then it was $20, so I'm guessing today it'd probably be like maybe $30 to $40 if anything. But for a $20 fan back then, it definitely could be a lot worse. That's the best thing I could say about it. And the only thing I'm really saying is that it could be worse. Is it could be a lot noisier, and it could even be less powerful than it already is. Right. Moving some air over here on the reverse high speed, which I'm actually surprised it even is doing, due to how underpowered the fan is. But, yeah. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.